Good evening and welcome to the Irish Column for Sunday, the 6th of October 2024. I'm Paul Fitzsimons. I'm on my own for now for a bit. I should have Martin Murphy on with me now in a while, and Orla and Anthony. I don't think will be with us tonight. But I'm going to first go. We were at a protest today. There was a protest today called in Dublin for against the anti-immigration and against everything else. And the SPHE curriculum and everything else that's going on in the country. And I have to say, it wasn't a great turnout. There was a couple of hundred there. We were expecting a couple of thousand. And really, I don't know why people didn't turn up now, to be honest with you. I know, listen, there was political parties canvassing and everything else and what have you. But it wasn't a good turnout, I have to say now. But what happened today, I tell you, right, it started off 11 o'clock. Air lads were there from 11 o'clock. It didn't start till 2 o'clock. And we had the lefties. The lefties arrived, of course, the usual shit with their Antifa flags and their Palestinian flags and their LGBT flags. But I'm just going to go with this little video here just to show you the two-tier justice system that goes on here in this country. Just let me go with this.
See you later! See you later!
Now, as you can see from that, if that had been 12 or 13 of us, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? We would have been lifted out of there, arrested, and brought to Store Street Garda Station, and their names would have been all over the internet tomorrow. But that's not the way it happens here. You know, the sort of way. We also had, I'd say there was about 200 of them over there, and they all had like these what do you call these woo-woo sort of things, you know, sirens, and they drowned out everything that we were doing. But they were let do this. Like, the guards let them do that. You know what I mean? And that was the killer part of it for me, that the guards let them do it. You know what I mean? And we were at the custom house, and they were just across the road, across the wall. Now, they should have never been let stand there. They should have been moved away. We would have been moved away. So we would have been, sorry, I'm just going to bring Martin in there. Just bear with me there. Hello there, Martin. How are you?
Hey, Paul. How are you?
See you. How are you? I just played a video there of the lefties getting lifted out of there this morning at about 12 o'clock at lunchtime. And I was just saying, like, if that had been 12 of us, we would have been arrested, brought to Store Street, and their names would have been plastered all over the mainstream media tomorrow morning. Like, the two-tier justice system here is just gone ridiculous, you know?
More than likely, but the lefties were very vocal online about exactly what they were going to do. So, in fairness, the guards, rather than have to deal with the larger crowd, did what they always do. They dealt with the smaller crowd, and obviously didn't deal with them the same way they deal with us. But look, at least there was no violence, there was no injuries, there was no, you know,
no,
what I mean?
It was nothing like that. It was brilliant. Yeah. You know?
It's funny though. I read one there just before I came on about. It's funny that these so-called anti-fascists, or whatever they like to call themselves, literally trying to drown out other people's right to free speech. It's hilarious. They're just they're so not self-aware. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was given. I'm gonna post it to myself here so I can show it up here. I was given a leaflet from somebody today that was posted around all of the colleges for today's rally. You know what I mean? To counter protest the far right. I'm just sending to myself there.
What far right? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
this is it. What far right? Exactly. Concerned citizens. That's all we have here. That listen, like we don't. There's never any trouble at any of the protests we go to ever, unless the guards. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to share it there. Just bear with me there for a second. Where we go? There. There it is. There. Look. This is it. Look. Counter demo, October 6th, Custom House, 1:30 p.m. Far right off Air Streets, united against fascism. Now, that was handed to me by a mother of a guy who was in one of the college. Now, I'm not going to say the college, or I'm not going to say anything where it was, but that was in every college in Dublin this weekend, all week. That's being put up there all weekend to counter protest.
Yeah, more than likely, taxpayer money paid for the printing of those.
More than likely, yeah, exactly, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's ridiculous, like, and then we ended up walking up Talbot Street, and then the guards stopped us. The guards told us you're not allowed to go against the traffic. Okay, we agreed with that, so we turned right, and then up Talbot Street, up onto O'Connell Street, walked around by the bridge, and came back around and stood at the GPO for a while. As far as I know, there was no arrests. There was a bit of antagonizing. There was a bit of whatever. You're always going to get that, you know what I mean? But as far as I know, everything went off well, the sort of way. So it went very well for us today. I have to say.
That's going to be monthly now, isn't it? It's going to be one organized every month, or
they're saying that, Martin. But listen, is there any point? Let's be honest about it. You're just going to get these fascists, like they're calling us fascists. You know what I mean? Like, these are the fascists. These are the ones. These are the communists. These are the ones. It's not us at all. You know what I mean?
I think it's actually good though for people who don't want to get involved in politics to be able to have an outlet. Like we're trying the political route, but it's important that other people have other avenues to to express themselves. We know the challenges ahead, and we know probably a little bit of insider information. We know a lot more about the corruption and stuff that's going on and how government actually operates. But a lot of people, it's a good way for them to kind of just vent a little bit of frustration, get out, because I said they are good atmospheres. They meet people that they're talking to online. They meet people that are in groups and stuff like that. So I think they're a good idea for those who don't want to take the political route, but need to do something. Like I said, I've been to a few of them. I've never seen any aggro at any of them from our side. I've seen plenty of hostility from the other side. So I think it's a good idea to do it once a month, even if it's only a couple of hundred people. Just let the government know that the ordinary people they want change. They want something different. Yeah.
Now, I got there today and I had my Irish Freedom Party jacket on and my shirt and my tie and the whole lot, and I looked the business.
Full campaign mode.
It wasn't even full campaign mode. It was just, I thought, like, it looks well, you know what I mean? If you're talking, I spoke for a few minutes just at the end of it there and the whole lot. I'll play the video in a minute. But I walked up and one of the lads called me. He said, "Paul, can you take off the jacket?" I said, "What?" And it was bleeding freezing at this stage. The sun hadn't out yet, And I says, "What?" He said, "Can you take? It's non-political, Paul. This is all grassroots." I said, "No problem." I took off the toy, and I stood there with everyone. And the amount of people, I was freezing for about 10 minutes, but then, you acclimatise to it. You know what I mean? I'm walking around with the chest out there, and I've no hairs on my chest. I've no hair. Don't do hairy chest. You know what I mean? So I'm walking around, and people are shaking me hand. And, I hope you do well, and we'll vote for you. And it was brilliant. Like, you know what I mean? It really was. I have to say. And there was a lot of people come up from the country, but there wasn't as many as I thought. I was expecting to turn that corner and see maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people. And when I got there, I went, "Oh, Jesus, no." And then when I seen the lefties on the far side, I thought, "Jesus Christ, no." And they had sirens. They had, and every one of them wearing masks.
Covered, yeah.
And the Minister for Justice came out during the week and said masks will be banned, and masks will be this. Is it only our side that aren't allowed to wear masks? You know what I mean?
There's a reason they hide their faces, right?
Because,
so a lot of them attend an awful lot of protests. It doesn't matter. It can be whatever protest it is, whatever protest of the week. They're paid. They're either paid by NGOs, or they're given the €50 just to show up. That's why they hide their faces, because they know, well, if they cover their faces, we'd start picking them out, going, "Hey, you were at this protest, and you were at this protest, and these two things are actually against each other, but you're protesting both." Like, look, we know what we're up against, and most people at this stage know exactly what's going on as well in relation to counter protests and the far left, the extreme far left. Like, you know, but like I said, all we've got to do is hold our heads high. We behave ourselves. We've never not behaved ourselves, and just go and do what we need to do.
How are you, Orla? I'll just bring it in now. Irish are not allowed. Irish are not allowed to bring flag poles past barriers, but they're allowed to carry flags on poles. Okay, now I'll just explain that for a minute, because they got there before the Gardaí set up the barriers. Okay, so that's how they had the flag poles. I'm not defending them, but that's exactly what happened. And I said it to the guards as I was walking down, because he searched me, made me open my coat and the whole lot. And, have you any knives on you? Smart arse copper, you know. Obviously knew who it was, you know what I mean? And I just laughed at him. I said, no. I said, there's no posters to take down today. And he said, I had the one I have, you know, get rid of woke politicians and elect patriots. And is there a flagpole on that? I said, no. But you could see all of our flagpoles left at the side, you know, at the side of the barriers, the whole lot, you know what I mean? And but everyone was searched going in, but they were already there. It was just our crowd, and that's why the crowd didn't get any bigger for a while, because we were all sort of funneled at the top of the custom house there, and they were searching people, searching through women's bags, and it was horrendous. Look,
it's just intimidation. The lefties were actually talking online, because hey, guess what? We watch E2. They were talking online. They were trying to get there for 11:30. That was that was their meetup point. The funny thing about the flagpoles is there was something else online about somebody. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was instructions on how to turn your flagpole into a pike, you know, from the 1798 repair. That was quite funny. So, like I said, the cops are watching everything too. So we're watching the left is watching us. The cops are watching everybody and stuff like that. So look, you know, look. At the end of the day, look, the guards know exactly what they're taught of now, and they know the bad things they've done and stuff like that. But I'd still rather have, you know, the guards there to separate the leftists and the rightists, and do the searches and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it keeps everybody safe. You know what I mean? Push came to shove, if it actually went down, we'd kill them. You know what I mean? That's the reality. You know what I mean? Because they're weak, soft, soil people. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that the guards are there to maintain that barrier. And look, they're under instruction to be harder on us than the other side. They're choosing to follow those instructions. There's not a lot we can do about that. But I'd rather them be there than not be there in situations like that, not in situations when they're fucking forcing plantations onto the likes of Newtown, Mount Kenny and stuff like that. But when there's two separate groups of people, you know what I mean? It does have it has potential to break down into kind of a soccer match kind of a event, which nobody wants. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. How are you, Orla? How's things?
Grand, thanks. So, how long were we at the protest today?
Well, I got there for about 10 to 2, and Anthony got there about 10 past 2 with his dad, and geez, it must have been 3 o'clock by the time I got to speak. There was two women in front of me, and I was waiting to get on, you know, because the girl called me. She said, "Look, Paul, you're up next." This is right, fair enough. So I'm standing behind these two women, and one girl had 6 pages, and the next woman had 7 pages. So she kept handing me our pages, and I'm taking the pages and giving them to the other girl, and she's going for, and the lads keep shaking around the table. Can you finish up now, love? Can you finish up now? She must have been 10 minutes talking, like, you know what I mean? But everything she was saying was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, it was brilliant. But you couldn't really hear her because they had the sirens going and this refugee welcome shite, you know, and the Palestinian flags with the LGBT flags, of course, the ones that throw queers off buildings, you know what I mean? And they're all standing beside each other, you know. It was just ridiculous, like it was. But we need to get a bigger PA system. We were only talking about today that we need to sort of do a crowdfunding or a GoFundMe to get a big PA system. That's for these protests, just for these Tracy wasn't there, so we hadn't got Tracy's one with us today. Tracy has a great one up in Dundalk, you know, but we hadn't got it there today. But yeah, there's a thing in there. Category plan in full flow, and this isn't class. IPAS centre's only problem. This is the replacement of every walk of Irish life, from the ghettos, working class areas to the wealthy areas. Well, the wealthy areas are not being affected by this at the moment. Are they?
They are. And if you look at who is purchasing properties, because there's no such thing as a cheap property in Ireland.
Indians.
Yep. So, like I said, legal immigration is probably now a bigger problem than illegal immigration, and it's something that has to be it's something that has to be tackled. I was actually talking on it last week on Spaces with Herman and Owen.
I heard the space there earlier. They were talking about the same thing there. I was on the space till about 10 to 9.
Yeah,
and I was listening to
what happened over in England. Like it was legal migration that caused the bigger problem.
put up Shane's comment there. My poll was strapped.
What was it?
Just bodily harm 87. It's Shane from comment.
My pole was strapped to my leg for everyone's safety.
Well done, Shane. You're still mad.
Oh, well done. I was talking to him today. He's a nice guy. He is. He's a good guy.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. That's good.
But I heard Herman and Dr. Owen talking about as well that Indians are buying up nearly 80% of the property in the country.
Yeah.
And Herman was saying that we have a policy here that'll stop that. That'll try and stop that. Them bleeding mosquito things that are flying around here. Bill Gates is in full flow here with me tonight. But but they were saying that we have a policy there that'll stop that. You know what I mean? That'll try and stop that. You know, we'll address that sort of thing that you can't buy.
Taxation and non-nationals not being allowed to buy property. Which is very, very common across the globe. That's not an unusual policy. A lot of countries have that if you're not a citizen, you cannot buy property in the country. You get your work visa, you stay for however long your work visa is, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, and then it's bye-bye, go home. And that's it. And you're only coming here if we want you and if we need you. So I guess there's very simple solutions to all these problems. You just need a government willing to implement them, and our government currently won't.
There we have Paul O'Neill. Well, defending Garda actions because they got before us. Fucking crazy. I'm not defending anything, but they did. This is what happened. They got there before the Garda set up the barriers. I'm not defending what they did or what the Garda did. I'm just telling you the plain facts of this. I was there. I saw it. I didn't get into 10 to 2, and I asked the question as soon as I got in there. How have they got them? And the lads that were there from 11 o'clock told me. He said, there was probably 20 lads there had flagpoles that were with us, but the rest of them had flagpoles. And the lads told me, he said, they got in here before the guards set up the thing. I'm not defending the guards. I'm not defending anyone. I'm just telling you the pure facts here. And that's all I'm saying, Paul. So if you don't agree with that, tough shit, you know what I mean? But that's exactly what happened, And then they be beating us tomorrow. Stop. They are the enemy.
No, sure. I listen. I'm agreeing with what they're saying, but the reality is, if the cops weren't there and the 20 or 30 left wingers,
we would have slaughtered them.
Exactly, and then what would happen is 40 or 50 of us would end up behind bar for fucking grievous bodily harm, and you know what I mean. Like you need that barrier between the two sides, because they'll antagonize. You know what I mean? Probably throw the first punch or anything like that, and then we'll annihilate them, and they'll ball up on the ground cry victim like Tip the lefty and stuff like that. So you need that. You know what I mean? Regardless of what anybody thinks about the guards, they're fairly low in my estimation. But you have to have that barrier, because it would be bad for everybody if that barrier wasn't there.
We have Deadlift Kid there again, giving his usual shite, but I'm not even going to listen. Stop posting your crap in there, okay? Nobody's even I'm not gonna entertain you, okay? So give it over, okay? About Orla, about me, about the IFP, I don't care, okay? Stop putting it in there. I'm not gonna post it, okay?
But he can't even say who he is. Like, he's in under a pseudonym name. Like, that says it all. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. We all know who he is. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Carry on. Grow up.
I've thrown the idea out there a few times. Do we want to, at some point, publicly let everybody know exactly what went on? Now that he's running as an independent, he's decided what he's doing and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, I think we should, but it's not up to me. It's not my call. It's not your call. It's listen, But again, the show has nothing got to do with the Irish Freedom Party. Okay, it just so happens that there's 2 Irish Freedom Party candidates here. That's the only thing it has to do with the Irish Freedom Party and the name Freedom. You know what I mean? It's on the Freedom Network, and that's the only thing we have in common. Like, I can speak about whatever I want here on this show. So if whoever this is, or whoever mates this is that's doing this, we can have a whole show about this, of what happened and how it happened and why it happened. So listen, I'm all for it. So we'll talk to the powers that be, and we'll see, can we do it?
Well, what did you say the name was?
Deadlift Kid. Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, I think they're Carlow based.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have another one in there. The women of Foxrock, Dean's Grange, Castleknock, etc., aren't doing walks, jogs, etc., because they are in fear of all of these new to shores flooding areas. Yeah, and it's true. And I have a video there I'm going to show as well of just down beside Castleknock of the Romanian brothel that was raided last night. Did any of you see that video?
Yep.
Wow, man, that was just.
Yeah, I got some information about another one, very, very close to me, about some very, very dodgy goings on. Yeah. I was in lovely Dundrum, so but I haven't it all confirmed yet. But when I get 100% confirmation, I'll see what's going on. Yep,
that's crazy, isn't it? It's, you know, and it's not Romanians, it's Romas, isn't it? It's the Romas, it's not the Romanians. It's these beggars as well that's doing it too. You know what I mean? They don't just beg, they sell themselves as well. Like, you know, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with it now, to be honest with you. I'm going to just let us see. Where are we? Romanian brothel in Castleknock. I'm going to go with this and we come back.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dad.
Sarm Garda.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, you go.
Oh my God.
Quickly, you go.
Oh my God.
You go. Quickly.
No, I want to see this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Quick. Girls, get back in. Get back in now. Get back in now. Get back in now.
Get out! Get down!
Now, they are not cheap houses. That is down beside the Phoenix Park. Like, that's along the back of the Phoenix Park, back of Farmley. I think that's the name of that estate, Farmley Estate. Them houses would be 500,000, 700 grand. Could you imagine living in that estate and seeing that going on and not even knowing it was under your nose? You know what I mean? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah, look, our government engaged in illegal people trafficking, so the criminals are going to jump on board as well. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of things being turned a blind eye to because the government is doing it. So you know, criminals are just going to do what criminals do.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But you remember Leo came out with a statement that you know, nobody had a right to say who came into their community, but yet they weren't living next door to him.
But that would have been down where his house was. He had I think he had an apartment down there or something. Down beside that. Yeah. Beside.
But he wouldn't be more than likely wouldn't be living in it. That's probably just something maybe he rents out. I'm not sure now, but
well, he wouldn't be frequenting them places in any way, you know, because it was all women, I think, you know what I mean? He's more of a backdoor kind of guy, Park Soldier man, you know. But I know. Are you allowed to say them things, are you? Hey, it is what it is. You can't say that, Paul. Shit, I'm sorry, I just did. You know? Yeah.
I was fine till Martin started.
Say again. Sorry, what, Orla? What'd you say?
I said I was fine until you started.
Yeah. I hear the words come out of his mouth and I go, Jesus Christ.
There's someone else. Same.
Paul the election.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. It's okay. He's wearing a shirt today, so that can make up for a lot.
It's okay. I'm not in Farmley. I'm Dublin Bay North. People in Dublin Bay North know I'm not for brothels or anything like that. The same in Killarney. No evening walks or jogs for women, plus being harassed at the train station.
Oh,
I was actually talking to a woman on the bus coming home this evening, and she was telling me she was harassed in Athlone. She came from Athlone today, and she was harassed at the train station as well. Yeah.
It's everywhere though. It's not just in.
Sure, I know.
I'm in kind of more rural areas, and I travel around more rural areas, and the hangers around are everywhere. They're in every town and village in the country. There's 4 or 5 of them in every corner in every town and village. Kind of just leering and looking, and but government sanctions. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now you have it. Yeah. Now you have it.
But Helen McEntee said, Dublin is safe. Everywhere's safe.
It's not. Dublin was never safe. Even
Well,
in the
no.
best times.
Not now.
You know what I mean? But it's taken a nosedive. Like Dublin had areas that you kind of go, Jesus, I won't stay there too late. Like, you know what I mean? Or I'll just pass through as quickly as possible and stuff like that. There was always areas like that. But the majority of Dublin now is very, very, very unsafe.
Very unsafe. Like I grew up in Dublin. I grew up in an area. I grew up in Darndale, Coolock, Donamead, St. Donis. It was a rough area. You know what I mean? But and there's no migrants in that area now. You know what I mean? So, but like it was still rough. You know what I mean? But you could leave your door open. You know what I mean? You could. Now you can't leave it. Now you don't know who your neighbours are. That's the problem here now. You know what I mean? We don't know who our neighbours are. Like I live in an estate here now. Where I am now, it's a multicultural estate. And like I know most of my neighbours, but in this estate, there's probably only 11 Irish families living in this estate. It's mental. I seen one from Amanda there. Hang on. Equal immigration. Equal immigration is a much bigger issue. Legal immigration, is a much bigger issue. It's them using up the services, housing, health and schools. Not single men. It's legals and family reunifications. Over 200,000 new legal immigrants every year. She's right. Because I heard Herman talking about it there on the space as well. It is because, as we said earlier, it's Indians coming in and Pakistanis coming in here and buying up all the houses. Like my friend lives around the corner here, and a 4-bed house went for, I think it was 530 grand, and your man must have put at least another 150 grand into it, doing the attic and everything else. They're the only people that have money. And if you go looking at houses that are being sold, it's all Indians. It's all Indians. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Oh, deadlift kid. Now he's at me now.
I have a friend who's a builder, and he was saying as well, the other problem is Chinese. They're building up a huge amount of buying up a huge amount of properties as well. But they're all in under pseudonym names, so you don't realise who's buying the properties. But he said that's going on, and that's a huge problem as well. But again, that's foreign buyers coming in. Paul, is someone picking on you?
Yeah, have you seen it there? I couldn't give a fiddler's foot. I'm being honest with you. I couldn't care less. If I could just blank him off that now, I would, but it's not letting me get rid of him. I'll put the user in timeout. Yeah, cheerio, deadlift guy. Bye. Yeah, he's gone now. He's an arsehole, you know what I mean? I'm going to be away for 1 or 2 nights. Somebody said, deadlift guy, you nearly lift the line, you little scroat. Yeah, good man. But €1 million properties being flooded by migrants. This isn't a class issue. This is replacement of the Irish Calgary plan at full flow. Listen, I haven't looked into that really too much, but listen, there's a lot of people talking about it, I have Adele Gillick there now. Well done on the rally today. It was, listen, it went well, you know what I mean? It really did. You know what I mean? There was a few of us there. And,
but there's generally never any problem at them anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's, that's good. Do you know?
Yeah, exactly. I have Ferg there. I have my one there. I spoke for a few minutes as well, but I'm going to just play Ferg there for a minute, right?
Okay.
And we just go because we tried to do a minute silence for the 3 lads who had died this month. Sure, them scumbags, they're just scum. So I'll just play this.
We lost the last month, so instead they're not going to be quiet anyway. So when I call out their names, give them the biggest round of applause you can, right? Pat out out. Jeff Gallagher. for the freedom of every little boy and girl, Irish boy and girl in this country, right? We're not stopping. Whoever needs to hear this, we are not stopping till this country gets taken back. And everyone in this country knows that the true meaning of the word freedom. God bless all the streets, all the others, God bless every other country people there. God bless you all.
I love Ferg. Swear to God, he's a true page. I'm telling you, he's a good man. Really
you should get him on sometime to talk about his security concept. You know that.
I'll be honest with you, Martin. He's not one to talk. You know, he's really not. Like it's hard enough to get him up there to talk. You know what I mean? He's not one to talk. He's not. He's just not into it. You know. And I had him on here last year, I think, for a few minutes. He just come on, said what he had to say, and he was gone. You know what I mean? But listen, he's more than welcome to come on anytime he wants. He knows that, you know what I mean. And I'm always saying it to him: come on anytime you want. I'll send you the link.
I just like I like the idea of these
the security. Yeah,
it's grand. We'll just give Shin and Adina a shout out there.
Yeah.
But August first. So Shane Smith, Anthony Casey, a few others involved in that. So they had a good meeting today, and they linked in.
I was there. It was brilliant. Yeah.
Very good. And again, it's a non-political option for people who want to fight back, want to do something. Again, non-political. It's nothing to do with government or getting votes or any of that kind of thing. It's literally just community awareness, information sharing, and bodies if necessary. If you need to get people somewhere to highlight something or protest something. So just have a look. It's on Twitter. It's on all the platforms. Shin and Adina. Have a look.
We share it out everywhere. Yeah, it should be shared everywhere. But again, as Martin said there, it's not political. It's just we need some people on the ground who can come as a point of contact with verified information where we can muster probably 100 men, 200 men, 300 men or women into the one place to block these IPAS centres. If you know there's something going on, let us know through the Twitter, through the Telegram, and I think we're going to set up a website as well. Like we're going to look into it tomorrow about setting up a website that everything goes through the website. You know what I mean? We'll have, say, the Irish Column will be on the website. Anthony Casey's will be on the website. All the different things that we're doing, different videos that we're doing, the likes of Gavin's video. Everyone's videos will be going up onto this, you know what I mean? So in the one place. So we're going to look into that tomorrow now and see can we get a domain for it and set up the website. So please God, it'll go well. I was talking to Shane. It was Shane was there today. There was a few lads there today that I'd met a few times before, and it was great to see them all in the one place talking, you know, it really was. So, yeah, Shin and Adina, it's the way to go. Yeah. But let's go with a few more comments. Cross McGlen is safe. Okay. Nowhere is safe, someone said. Yeah. He's back in again. How the fuck did he get back in? He was banned and the comments were removed. Okay, that was from earlier on. That's grand. He's gone. In 2023, we had 160,000 imports, and very sadly, 70-odd thousand of our own children emigrated out of the country. It's true. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And someone that Ray. I know Ray.
Yeah. Do you know Ray Heaney? Yeah. But someone said there's nothing wrong with the Chinese. I'm the same. Like, I love an old chicken ball. I love an old, you know.
So, like this is where people kind of say, oh, there's nothing wrong with A, B, or C. There's nothing wrong with anybody. Okay, everybody is fine, but everybody has their own home nation, and for the most part, you should stay in your own home nation. If you're coming to a country like Ireland, we're a tiny population. We're a tiny island, and we've got very, very poor infrastructure. We've got very poor successive governments, so we cannot take in huge amounts of people in a short amount of time. Our systems, whether it be education, policing, hospital, everything, our systems just can't deal with it. Housing is the big one at the minute, so we need to tackle non-nationals buying houses so that Irish people can get houses. That is the reality. And like I said, it can be done through taxation, with tax living. That you want to be a non-citizen and come to Ireland, fine. You're going to pay 40% tax, and that's it. It's not it doesn't matter whether you're minimum wage or you're earning 100 grand a year. You're paying 40% tax. That's the cost of coming here, and you can most people want to come here to, would say, learn English, get better at English, pick up skills, work for multinationals and stuff like that. Well, it's going to cost you 40% tax to do it, and you will not be allowed to get citizenship, and you will not be allowed to buy property. Very, very, very simple solutions. Take a bit of time for the for the effect to kick in, you have to deal with the people that you already have in the country. I'd be looking at implementing a temporary visa system to people that have kind of snuck in or got in through soft means. I'd be looking at applying a temporary visa with a maximum of 2 years to everybody that's in the country at the minute legally, and kind of assessing then whether do we need you. Because if we don't need you in the country, you shouldn't be here. It really is as simple as that. Like I said, when we don't have a housing crisis, when we don't have a health care crisis, when we don't have a school place crisis, when we don't have all the other crises we've had for the last 30 years, then we consider opening up our borders a little bit more, or relaxing, visas and things like that. But for the next decade, we need to shut this country down and remove as many people as possible.
Anthony's just come in there and said point people were inducted today. Okay, so we have point people now in it's probably 10 places around the country. So
good.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, deadly. So it was a good enough meeting there. Now I legged it. I had to go. I had to come back and get this all set up and the whole lot. So I'd have loved to stay on the piss with them, but hey, listen, some of us have to do a bit.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you're right in what you're saying there, Martin. And like what people as well is like, it's not somebody coming in and buying one house. They're buying up many houses. There's where the problem is. It's the same as your vulture funds and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's the amount that they're buying up.
Yeah. They're buying up too much, like, you know what I mean? It really is, like, you know what I mean? It's like Irish people just can't buy a house out anymore. No. They're out of the market, like, you know, that sort of way.
We were discussing this yesterday at our meeting, and we're talking about those Ukrainian prefabs, you know, the ones that are, what was the price? 435,000.
440, yeah.
Yeah, 440,000. And I just made a point, and I said, like, there is some areas in Ireland, like, you know, kind of lesser towns or smaller towns, or, you know, where you can still buy a house for 170, 180, 190, 200,000. So literally one of those Ukrainian prefabs, you know, that's two houses for an Irish person.
Yeah, but what people aren't understanding here now, and I was only told this the other day, I was talking to Susan Laney, lives over here, you know, Susie D. Suzanne is Stephen Kerr's missus.
Yes.
I was talking to her the other day, and she told me, she said, what people don't understand is people think it's gone up from 220,000 in 2023 to 440,000. It's doubled. She said it has gone up 10 times. She said when these started in 2022, they were 42 grand.
Yep.
Now they're 420 grand.
Jesus.
And a lot of people don't realise that and don't know that, you know?
Yeah. But that is like that's two houses that you could hide. You know what I mean? That Irish people could have. You know, for the same.
What you have to look at is who's providing them. So you go back to the start. Is when was the contract tendered? Who was the contract tendered to? What were the prices the original prices that were given, and what are the excuses for prices going up? You get the same answers as you got with the bike shed, children's hospitals.
Yeah.
The government
was like the same with the children's hospital. Was any of it subcontracted out?
Yeah,
you know.
So like you can buy a modular home yourself for probably about 120 grand now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And put it in your back garden. You can get a smaller one for less. You can go online and just check out the prices yourself, like log cabins and stuff like that. So look, the reality is, once again, the government is allowing the taxpayer to be screwed in relation to these modular homes. The modular homes themselves are a good idea. I still believe that is the solution to our housing crisis. Let me buy them. Let me find the people to buy them off. I can bloody get you fucking cheap modular homes. And actually build small ones of those instead of building council estates straight away. Build small modular home estates, because you can bang them up rapidly and then put people on a kind of a 3 year.
Exactly. 3
years.
We all saw it when we were out canvassing. Like, we came across houses where there was parents, their children, and their grandchildren in houses, and like there was a couple of houses I came across. There was 10 in one house. 10 people between the three generations, and there was nowhere for them to go. They were waiting on housing lists and everything and 10 people, up on 10 people in a few houses I came across. Like, that's just, as you said yourself, look at why can't modular homes be built for those people, just, you know, for something in the midterm, the same as getting people off the streets. You know, it's just, it beggars belief.
It's lack of government will. That's the reason.
To you know what? I actually had a great idea. I was thinking today, I saw Val's post, Val Martin, right? He's from Cavan as well. I said, you know who would be great at coming in and taking a look at the budgets and expenditure and all that? Cavan people.
Because they're hungry, who was?
I tell you, there'd be no excess expenditure. There'd be nothing like that. The following year we'd be in profit.
Exactly, yeah. Now you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody posted up there, Tracy O'Mahony put up a great video today. There is a great video on the government's plans for further illegal immigration. Sickening. Will be one big IPAS centre where they have access to services we pay for but can't access. I'm actually just downloading it now, so
yeah, I came across it. I just didn't get a chance to watch it. She's very good, Tracy. She's
I watched about 3 minutes of it earlier while I was on the bus, and there was a fella sitting in front of me, and he was stinking, right? And I had to keep moving away from it, so I just turned it off and I just moved away. But I know, Martin, I know. Hey, listen, it is what it is.
That's why I don't use public transport ever.
Yeah. So I downloaded it there now. I'll probably play it in a few minutes. Okay, so we just yap there for a few minutes while this is downloading, yeah. But yeah. But why can't they put one of these modular homes out say your ma's back garden?
Yeah.
And even pay them a few quid every month for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying a mortgage, but if you were to pay them 200 quid a month, you know, there'd be a lot more people living. Like, you look at it now, right? I know of one, Jesus, probably hundreds, but I know of one guy who lives with his mother, his father, his 2 kids, and his missus. Yeah. Like, that's 6 people in the house, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a 3-bedroom house. Yeah. Big, huge back garden. Yeah. You know what I mean? They have a big shed out the back in the hole, but nobody, they can't live in it. But if you were to get one of them modular homes out the back there, it's a 2-bedroom. It'd be ideal for people, like, you know what I mean? At 42 grand.
Yeah, the reason that the councils won't allow this is because at the end of the day, this will cost the councils money. Because if you have new builds, new houses being bought, so the council get a take on everything. You know what I mean? Whatever fees you have to pay in the city or in the country, it's water. You know what I mean? You have to pay to get your water connected, or you know, you have to pay for your planning, etc. Stuff like that. You could have ended up dropped 20 grand before you actually dig a foundation out in the country. In some counties, have paid to the council.
Yeah.
If you have people with popping up little modular homes all over the place, everybody's happy, but the council doesn't get a take. You know what I mean? It's like fucking The Sopranos. It's like gangsters. You know what I mean? The council has to get a taste of everything, and if they don't get a taste, they're not letting it. They're not letting it happen. And that's the reality of and why the likes of Sean Meehan and Tipperary, and there's a couple in Dublin somewhere as well. They're trying to make them take it down as well. But that's the reason, because they don't want people to have this facility, because at the end of the day it'll cost the government, and we'll say local government, money.
Yeah, and we can't have that. What?
Well, look, if people don't realize that we were always a kind of a corrupt country, and now we're finding out that we're a very, very corrupt country. Yeah. So it's time people look. We can just see it. There's options out there. If you want things to change, people have to vote differently. It's as simple as that. You vote.
There's now choices. I saw a great comment one day, and they just said, "There's no excuse now. There's no choices." But as you said yourself, Martin, what's the alternative? Like, have up on 10 people in one house, have people still lying on the streets. Like, it's also selfishness as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there could be some sort of an agreement done with the council to accommodate people. Like, is it better for people to be on the streets?
Yes. From their point of view, yes. Because the civil service is only concerned with protecting the interests of the civil service.
Yeah.
They don't care about their jobs. They don't care about the roles. They're also untouchable. Remember, they're not politicians. They don't get voted into their roles. They get selected for their roles, and you know what I mean. The troublemakers get kind of pushed out, or you know, they stay at the same level, and the yes men will climb the ladder. Civil service is just absolute. Like, there's some stories I could tell you, but I don't want to libel people. But it's corrupt at every level. It's corrupt at local level. It's corrupt at senior level.
I just want to share this here. You see this one here today? This is that's my poster there today, and that's Clive's twins. Okay, that's my friend's twins, right? And it's don't vote politicians, elect patriots. Ireland is full. And that's it. They're getting nearly 60,000 views on Twitter, but the lefties are going mental.
Oh, I've seen the comments. I've seen them.
That's child abuse. That's grooming, and I'm just texting back, lads. You would know all about grooming, wouldn't you? And
how is that grooming?
It's bullshit. It's just anything to try and make you look bad. That's all it is. You know what I mean? So, and I have to say that the twins loved it. You know, they're two good kids. At every protest with Clive, and like Clive has 5 daughters. Like, he might have 6 daughters. So he has a lot of skin in the game here. You know what I mean? He's worried sick about this. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah. So, yeah. But I thought that was brilliant today with the girls now, I have to say. You know what I mean? They're good kids. But, yeah. I have, hang on, have you any more comments there? We'll go over another one. I have Tracy's one downloaded there now. I'll play it in a few minutes.
Where's our friend? Where's the friend? What's his name that she's got very fond of? Where's he tonight?
Who?
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew.
Where's he tonight?
He was there today. He didn't get a chance to talk to me. Him and your woman, the owl one, she was in a wheelchair today. Should be a bleeding coffin she was in, never mind the wheelchair. But she was there today, right? And she kept sticking her fingers up at me, you know what I mean? So I just kept leaning around the flag with my finger. Oh, that one's for you, you know what I mean? Oh, she's a bitch. She's a witch of a woman. I swear to God, she's just sickening. I swear to God, she really is. She's the epitome of evil, you know?
I see just to get you off that subject, because Jesus, election. Comment there about Tipperary, Cork need all the support, and there's a comment then underneath saying, you know, Cork is a dead loss. The Palestinian pro-Palestinian marches in Cork are ridiculous. Like, they're absolutely massive. Like, I mean, I don't know what has happened to Cork City, but it looks lost.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Derek Bly is going to have a very hard job trying to get in down there. I'm being honest with you, with Cork. Seriously,
but there's serious leftist traction down there, and even in the locals, like the Greens did well down there. The Social Dems did well down there. Like, I just don't know what happened to, like, that city used to be hard. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Cork was tough. Like. But
you look at the LGBT, it's the capital of Ireland, like, you know what I mean? It's the capital of Ireland, like, for LGBT and all that crap, you know what I mean? It really is. It's worse than Dublin.
Yeah,
it's crazy, like.
Yeah. So,
but Owen does be saying that. You know, our Owen, he does be saying that you know, Cork, I don't think it's not as bad as Dublin. It's not as bad as other areas. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people just haven't seen it yet. You know, but there's very few nationalists. Just looking at the list that are running down in Cork, apart from Derek. I'm not sure if there's one or two others, but there's very, very few. Like, there's very little choice.
Yeah, there's hardly any choice down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Derek is the only one.
If there is, you know, unless maybe there's Derek and one other, there's hardly anyone, unless any more, you know.
I don't know whether Anita Ward is running down there. Anita ran into locals. Anita's a good girl now. I like Anita now, and she was running. I don't know whether she's running in the generals. I haven't seen. Or maybe she is running and she hasn't joined the alliance. I don't know. You know what I mean? But
yeah, see in the comments there, Derek's running in Cork North Central, North City vote, and Mallow from Ian Mitchelstown. That's it. There's nobody.
There's very few for such a big area, like, you know.
Yeah, Derek Bly is very popular. The lefties be mounting and loud. I do. I agree. Listen, I like Derek.
Derek is great. Look, Derek is great. Yeah,
you know, but I think he will find it hard down there. I really do, with the amount of lefties that are down there, you know, and the are mouthy and loud. She is right, you know. No city vote, Mallow for my Mitchelstown. Listen, I hope he gets in. You know, I'd gladly have a point with Derek in the Dáil bar. Please God. Yeah. But I'm gonna go.
The south of Ireland, does need some attention. We do need to need to get some.
So we've no candidates down there.
No, and then it's like you look over it with, say, the likes of Wicklow, Wexford, Waterford. Like, there's not many over there either. You know.
Yeah. So
somebody just posted in the comments there a few minutes ago. People from Dublin couldn't build houses in Wicklow a few years ago. You know, and I don't know how true that is, but Jesus Christ, if you couldn't, that's mad.
No, there was planning laws because they exist in other counties as well, where you had to have a connection to the area to actually build. They wouldn't let you build, like you couldn't move from, we'll say, like in Cavan, we'll say, just to the left down to Tipperary and build a house out of nowhere. They'd say, well, why do you want? They'd refuse your planning application due to the fact that you weren't from the area. So that used to happen. Yeah, that's factual.
Yeah, because I bought a house in Cavan in 2000, and Jesus, I loved it down there. And then the culture's turned on me, and once the culture's turned on you, that's it. It's time to go out, get out of Dodge quick. You know what I mean? But like, I had a house down there. If you had lifted it up and brought it to Dublin, it'd be worth $1 million all day long.
Hold on a second. I'm very interested in this story. What did you do? Because it takes a lot for culture to turn on you.
It wasn't actually me that they turned on. Okay, I was one of the first houses where I moved into in Cavan was on the Kew Hill Road, right beside the foundry. Okay.
Cootel.
Cootel. Yeah,
no. Cootel.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
No, Cootel.
Yeah. But it was called Hillview, right? It was a beautiful house. It was up on a hill. It was just past the foundry on the Kew Hill Road, all right? And I was the first dub to move in there, okay? And then they built 9 more houses along the road, okay?
You started it, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. But then there was drug dealers living there, and it was just mental, like, you know what I mean? It really was. And it wasn't me they turned on, to be honest with you. It was the dubs in general, you know what I mean? Like, one was selling drugs. We were all the same. We were all tarred with the same brush, you know, that sort of way. So that's the way it was, you know what I mean? So...
Were you living on the outskirts of the town?
On the outskirts of the town, yeah, where the foundry was in Baileyburn.
That's where your problem is. If you gone out to the country, all you had to worry about was the cattle. And look, I'm sure they'd like you. You know what I mean? And they're very good neighbours. They don't cause any bother, and you would have been grand. We
used to knock the cattle over at night. We used to do that. That was a bit of crack, like, yeah.
Cow tipping, huh?
Cow tipping, yeah. Someone told us last week. We were at I tell you who it was. We were at Jeff's funeral last week, and we were coming back in the car, me, Doran, and John. And Doran said, yeah, we used to do the cow tip. And I said, we used to do that in Cavan as well. He said, that's very dangerous. You can kill the cows that way. And John, John looking at him, what the fuck are you talking about? Because cows can't get up after you knock them down. He said, well, I've seen loads of fucking cows getting up, he said, after you knock them down. He said, that's bullshit. So yeah,
fucking worried. I would be worried about the cows getting up. We were getting fucking shot by the farmer for knocking over his fucking cows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck that,
or I'll tell you one thing: the bull in the field, and you know about it then.
I got chased. I tell you, I got chased by a bull in Rotterdam one night. I didn't even know.
Oh, they take no prisoners.
Boy, Jays, you want to see me running? I never ran so fast in all my life.
Oh yeah, my father's brother nearly got killed by bulls as well. I'll tell you, they come for you. You're in big trouble. You may run fast.
I was a fast runner then. Yeah, I was only 16. You know what I mean? I could run quick. Trust me, I could scale walls and all then. Can't do any of that
and
now.
Look what happens to him now. He leaves Cavan and then he ends up with a good friend from Cavan.
There you go. Yeah, now you have it, yeah. But I'm going to go, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go with this one. I want to go in and make a quick cup of tea. So we'll go with this one, this Tracy O'Mahony's one.
Tracy O'Mahony,
it's a good video. Now, it's 9 minutes long. We'll go with it and we'll come back and talk about it, okay?
Okay.
Talk to you in a minute.
Hi everyone. With the general election around the corner, the government have just published their long-term strategy for the housing of international protection applicants, many of whom we know to be economic migrants arriving here without any identification documents. The plan is to not only transform Ireland into a central hub for mass immigration, but to reward every IPAS applicant who sets foot on Irish soil with assets, wealth and services, including housing, catered meals, transport, legal services, translation services, education, health services, dental services to the tune of billions of euros every single year. These services that you pay for but cannot access for your family are being redirected by the Minister for Integration, Roderick O'Gorman, to thousands and thousands and thousands of international protection applicants every year. The purpose of this video is to alert you to 2 issues. The first is to let you know that the government have officially published their report on the future use of Thornton Hall, and the second is to advise you of the content of the government's long-term immigration housing strategy. In relation to Thornton Hall, the government have confirmed that they have signed a 2-year agreement to allow the Department of Integration to use 35 acres of the Thornton Hall site to house at least 1,000 single adult male migrants. These are their words, not mine, with the first men arriving this month, October 2024. You should note, however, that this site has 162 acres available to it, so do not be surprised when the government tell you that they have decided to licence more than 35 acres. As you scroll down through the government publication on Thornton Hall, which you can access on the gov.ie website, the government confirmed the following. These single adult male migrants will have staff available to them 24/7. That there will be full-time security at the site, that catered meals will be available to them 3 times a day, that tea, coffee and snacks will be available 24/7, that the HSE will attend the centre and provide special access to GP clinics, that further referrals onto dental or specialist healthcare services will be made available, that special transport services have been developed, and that special programmes around education and activity supports will be made available at the site. The list is endless and explains why it is costing the taxpayer, as in you and I, €5 million a day to house asylum seekers in Ireland. Any objective person would conclude that Roderick O'Gorman has made Ireland a destination of choice for economic migrants. Not forgetting, of course, that Roderick O'Gorman advertised as much in several different languages last year. Possibly the most concerning aspect of this government publication is the fact that they confirm that the use of tented accommodation at Thornton Hall is viewed as a short-term solution, and that their long-term goal is to develop and provide permanent housing units. And this brings me to the second part of this video, which is a publication again on the gov.ie website titled Planning for New Centres, published on the 3rd of October 2024. In summary, this Planning for New Centres report states the following. 1. The government currently have 300 accommodation centres around the country for international protection applicants, with new locations being opened on an ongoing basis. Again, their words, not mine. 2. Roderick O'Gorman is trying to secure accommodation all over the country to meet the urgent needs for shelter and support for people who are applying for international protection, while Irish citizens are living on the streets. Just in relation to the sourcing of accommodation for economic migrants, I want to make the point that this government, meaning Roderick O'Gorman, Helen McEntee, Leo Varadkar, Simon Harris, Micheál Martin and so on, introduced laws in June 2022 to allow them to bypass the planning laws that apply to everyone else in the country, so that they could house people coming to Ireland from Ukraine without any restrictions. Once they saw that there was little pushback to this new 2-tier planning system, they decided to extend this exemption to people coming from Ireland from anywhere in the world in November 2022. Now, just to be clear as to what this means, on the one hand, the full rigours of the planning laws apply to you and I, to the extent that this government are bringing pensioners to court and ordering them to tear down log cabins that they have built with their own hands, with their own money and on their own land, thereby making these pensioners homeless. While at the same time, this same government are introducing laws that say that no planning permission is needed to convert the list of accommodation on the screen, provided this accommodation is designated for foreigners. 3. The government's long-term plan for housing migrants also confirms that the government are using state-owned sites around the country, including sites owned by the HSE, to provide tented accommodation to asylum seekers, prefabricated and modular homes to asylum seekers, as well as converting commercial buildings into accommodation for asylum seekers. And finally, they also intend to start purchasing new home bills for asylum seekers, thereby reducing the number of new bills available for you or your children to buy. In this regard, the government have confirmed that they are aiming to be able to provide accommodation annually to at least 35,000 people. And while some of you may think, A, that many of these applicants will fail and end up being deported, or B, that 35,000 does not sound that high to begin with, I would ask you to bear the following in mind. Firstly, in April 2024, the Irish Times confirmed that fewer than 100 people out of 7,300 refused refugee status since the beginning of 2023 had actually been deported by Helen McEntee and Roderick O'Gorman. Secondly, you should also bear in mind the fact that in 2021, Helen McEntee introduced an amnesty for 17,000 illegal migrants to allow them to remain in Ireland permanently, thereby rewarding their criminality. With that in mind, do not think for 1 second that a similar programme will not be rolled out in the future again. The final point I wanted to make on this issue is around family reunification rights. So when any of these 35,000 people are granted refugee status, they automatically become entitled to family reunification rights, which could mean that they could become entitled to bring family members such as spouse, civil partner, mother, father, brothers, sisters and children to Ireland. So for every one person that is granted a right to remain in Ireland, this one person could easily and quickly turn into 10 people, meaning that if only 50% of the 35,000 applicants were granted refugee status, this 17,500 people could quickly and easily turn into 175,000 people annually when their family reunification rights are exercised. It's clear that the Irish government is heavily invested in transforming Ireland into a central hub for mass immigration. At a time when many of its European counterparts are rejecting mass immigration, due to the overwhelming negative effects on security, services, demographics, social cohesion and so on. To conclude, at a time when there is a housing crisis, a healthcare crisis and a cost of living crisis, this government are spending €5 million of your money per day on creating a social welfare system for asylum seekers that cannot be rivalled by any other European country. From the 300 accommodation centres that are currently in operation across the country, to developing state lands to build tented accommodation, to converting commercial buildings while bypassing planning laws, to purchasing new turnkey homes that will no longer be available to your children, while at the same time ensuring that these asylum seekers have staff available to them 24/7, full-time security, catered meals 3 times a day, tea, coffees and snacks 24/7, access to special GP clinics, special referrals onto dental or specialist healthcare services, special transport services, special programmes around education and activity supports, and so on. I can only end with this. As Milton Friedman once said, you cannot have open borders and a welfare state, so something needs to give. Thanks for listening.
Jesus Christ, oh my God, that was eye-opening, I tell you. Like 17,500 could become 175,000 a year.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's with the family reunification. That is crazy. That's crazy now. Wow.
But not when you look at, we'll say, do you know, what do they mean by family unification? Are they talking about just bringing over, we'll say, their wife and their children, or is it getting into bringing in brothers, sisters, parents, aunts, uncles?
Wives.
Wives.
Yeah. Not just wives.
Okay,
yeah.
this was the whole point of the
durable relationships.
Yeah.
Wives, kids, cousins, cats, dogs, grandfather. You know, it's endless. It's absolutely endless.
Godchildren.
Now, hold on a second, Martin. Martin, I will stop you there. I've no problem with the cats or dogs.
Yeah.
You're okay with the €1 million spent bringing them from Ukraine, yeah?
No, that should be given to the animal rescues.
Yeah. No, so we care about Irish cats and dogs. Be careful. Actually, you should give a shout out to your charity of choice.
My lovely horse rescue.
Yeah, give the website and all the details and get.
And they do phenomenal work. But there's plenty of others. Do you know what I mean? Like Leash SPCA, and there's any amount of other animal charities out there that do absolutely fantastic work.
Well, we're giving shout outs. I'm going to give a shout out to Joan, who's sipping champagne now and cocktails away on holidays. Fair play to you, Joan. Have one for me.
Is living the life, huh?
Well, listen, she works hard, so why not? You have to. But I'm going to go Owen here. Cork Central is a massive working class area, lads. I see Derek taking a seat. I hope so. My own constituency of Cork South Central is a middle class area, not hit as bad like Orla says. Yeah, you're right.
Given what Derek picked up in the Euros, he is very, very likely to get elected.
But he's very popular. He's a popular guy. You know what I mean? He is. You know what I mean?
He's a nice guy as well. Like he's like, you know, he's had to deal with a lot of shit over the last couple of years. People don't realize half the stuff that goes on, like, you know what I mean. And he has that
behind the scenes,
and he holds his head up high, and he just keeps on plugging and keeps on going. You know what I mean? So he's doing sterling work. You know what I mean? And you know, Ireland First, you know, seem to be a good organisation. Like, so, best of luck to them.
Yeah, Raymond Heaney, that's a real eye opener. It is a real eye opener, yeah. And there's lots of loopholes. That's what annoys me about Tracy. Never a solution, yet she has access to the books. Listen, she's only putting out the information. You know what I mean? I'm not going to knock Tracy. I think she does great work. So, you know,
she does absolutely. And the reality is,
like, she's a barrister. She knows her stuff. Like, you know, like she's there to give information.
But the reality is, we all have huge amounts of information. We all have huge amounts of information. We share it amongst ourselves. I mean, I've lost track of how many different WhatsApp groups I'm in.
I'm the same.
So we share all the information, but the reality is, when your system is as corrupt and broken as ours, information doesn't do anything, because in the olden days, the media would run with a story and your government would be taken down by a scandal. Now the media is part of the government, so there's no scandal. It's just another story, and we just plow on and plow on and plow on. You know,
I saw actually something on Facebook. Was it yesterday or today? I saw a comment, some controversy thing again, and somebody said, Jesus, you know, if Gay Bourne was still around, you know, he would have highlighted that.
He wouldn't. His whole Gay Bourne's another one. He's another slave in that Gay Bourne was. You know what I mean? Raymond Heaney's at the post now. TV3 are broadcasting the programme right now. Borders and lies. They're cutting the shit out of the protesters. No, I'd say it's a repeat from Monday and Tuesday on a Sunday night. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I will say to anyone who was at the getting the shit cut out of them on this one, you have a right to reply. Under the Broadcasting Act, you have a right to reply. I'm in the process of doing one now about what they said about Coolock and everything else, because they never spoke to any of us. As I told you before, your man interviewed me at the start of them protests in April, and he never aired any of that. You know what I mean? So it was too one-sided. It was too biased. So what I'm saying to people is, if they're watching here tonight, make sure you exercise your right to reply. And if they do not give you the right to reply, their license can be taken off them for that. Now, I don't know whether that will happen or not, but enough people make waves. It could alter this. You know what I mean? Because they have to start talking.
But there was a huge amount of false information given out in that, and you know, it was shocking. Like, some of the stuff they were saying. Do you know?
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. Like, so they shouldn't.
Yeah. Have you noticed? I've noticed it around here, okay, and I've noticed it on the north side of the whole lot. There's an awful lot of Pakistani and Indian disabled people. Like, I mean, older people. You know what I mean? They're not. I don't mean young people. They're in their 60s, 70s. So we're importing them here now, and they're availing of our health system. You know what I mean? They're taking what we should be getting in our head. Now, I don't need it at the minute, like, but in 10 years' time, I might need it when I'm on a cane, like, you know what I mean? But there's too many of them coming in, and there's an awful lot of children as well, I have to say, you know what I mean? Disabled children coming in from Muslim countries and the whole lot. So, you know, we can't look after our own. When you look at what happened in the budget here the other day, 9 million for a phone pouch.
Yeah.
And the scoliosis kids got nothing. Yeah. Carers got nothing. You know,
homelessness got nothing. The whole Focus Ireland, I did a post on it. They were
Greyhound Ireland got more than what the scoliosis patients got. Come on, what does that tell you about this government? Like, we need to vote these people out and vote them out quick. Because if another 5 years of this and we're all dead, never mind about anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there's no rhyme or reason to anything to do. Like, there is absolutely. It's just like, imagine, as you said yourself, 9 million. And there's people dying on the streets, and they wanted to buy phone pouches. It's just scandalous.
But call a spade a spade. We're getting another 5 years of this. That's the reality. And
well, not if Paul gets in.
I don't
And Glenn gets in, and whoever else
if you
gets
get
in.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I get so much stick for this, and do you know what I mean? I cause trouble, and I've people on our side coming after me over this. Right? The reality is, we have another 5 years of this to deal with.
Yeah.
We probably have another 10 years of this to deal with, because enough people aren't awake to the issues that are actually the country is facing. The people who are awake aren't connected enough and are too busy throwing stones at each other than actually focusing on the problems that are there. Like, the amount of silliness that's gone on the last couple of weeks has been just, you know,
it's been ridiculous.
It beggars belief, and I'm just taking the stance on it now as Paul said, I don't fucking care. I have a plan, and you know we have a plan. We know it's a long-term plan. There's no anybody trying to sell you, oh, we're going to fix this. They're lying to you, because it's going to take years to fix. The amount of damage that's been done to this country, it's going to take years to fix, and you need a plan. The first thing is to get a couple of people in the door. That's it. And if we do that, then we have to operate like. Do you ever watch your man, the Cypriot guy in the European Parliament? He's at Fridas, I think is his Twitter handle. You should follow him. He basically got elected. He was a social media. He was a TikTok guy, and he got elected. I think it's Cyprus, but I could be wrong. But he basically is filming every single interaction he has in there. He's gone through. He's published his money, his allowances, who he can hire, how the voting systems work. He's basically walking around the EU Parliament with a camera 24/7. That's
I've seen him. I've seen him. I've seen him.
So if we get a couple of nationalists elected, that has to be their job. You're gonna get shunned by all of the other parties, the guys who get elected. So first of all, you all have to band together and form a group, and then try and link in with the likes of Carol and Matty McGrath and all the other, what we say, good independents that are there. But somebody has to go in there with a camera and film everything 24/7. Literally follow around the TDs, get into as many meetings as possible, fill in the doll bar, as in make the guys that are sitting there, make their lives absolutely unbearable. That's what you're going to be able to do, because in reality, from a
better man.
They're going to lock whoever gets elected out straight away. They'll try and bribe them first, and that'll be the first test. And if they can't bribe them, then they'll
they've done it with Malachy and Gavin. They've done it already with Malachy and Gavin in the council. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, like, you know what I mean? And Patrick Quinlan, like, it's ridiculous, like.
Did you see that video there? Actually, what you were saying there, Martin, two things is, even if a few of us get in, just to even have the word no. Like, no, we don't agree with that. No, we're not doing that. No, we don't want that. There's a lot to be said for the word no. And before, where they would have had all the yes, a few of us in will be no. And I would love, and I really do hope, that Gavin gets in, because he's absolutely brilliant. And Gavin, if you're watching tonight, we still look great on that news article. And I was saying about Gavin, did anyone watch his video just from the other day? Where a TD came out and called him a scumbag.
Oh, that
is shocking. Carry on. Like, to call him that, and that person is a TD. That's shocking. Carry on. And then
he was sitting with his wife and kids when he said that. You know. Yeah. Everybody knows what Breed Smith is. You know, Breed Smith won't be. She's a nobody. You know, she's a scumbag.
But where's your respect for other people and a bit of manners? You're a TD. You're a public representative. You don't turn around and call somebody who hasn't, like, is just sitting there a scumbag. Shocking behaviour.
Someone posted there, when it comes to voting day, there's not enough people come out to vote. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like 35% is no good. We need all of these nationalist areas to come out and And I have to say, Suzanne and Madeline are doing a great job with the voting thing, and they're going out to getting people registered to vote. And that's what we need to do. We need to get people registered to vote. But not only registered to vote. If you have a car, collect the old woman next door, collect the granddad next door, and who's ever, can't get out of the house, bring them to the polling station. Do what they do. That's what they do. So why don't we do it? I remember hearing the story here years ago, right? Down in Achill, right? There was a prominent publican in Achill, okay, big Fine Gael, and she dressed up a young girl in old woman's clothes. The woman had died a couple of months before and dressed her up and brought her to vote. Now, You know what I mean? And they're getting away with that. You know what I mean? And that one vote could have done it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying, but like that's what they do. So that's what we need to do. We need to play their game now. Play them at their own game. You know. What's this? Pauline, phone pouches cause the government are guilty of forcing the LGBT agenda onto the kids. No phones. They can't take photos or report back to parents what's being taught. Our governments are evil. I agree. I do agree.
The phone pouches are in schools already. I had to pay. I know I paid for one, a magnetic one last year. So like I don't know what the 9 million is for because like most, the school my youngest fella's in brought them in last year or the year before. I think it was about 20 quid for that magnetic pouch.
Another pothead in the doll. I wonder who that is they're talking about because if that's me, that's defamation, and I will be going ahead with it now if you keep that shit up me. I don't know who he's talking about there. I just thought I'd show it there just because if there is any defamation cases about this, at least we showed it here.
Yeah. And again, another one behind a false name.
Yeah, so listen, I couldn't give a fiddlers about them, honestly. You know what I mean? People can see them for what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense people out there. Like I said, the last couple of weeks now has really showed a couple of people's true colours. And do you know what the killer was? I was actually disappointed. You know me well enough now to know at this point. I try to mediate everything. There's a solution to everything. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's there's no right and wrong. I'm not fucking right about everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not wrong about it. Nobody's saying we just have to mediate. And what went on the last 3 weeks kind of showed me that there's a lot of people in the nationalist movement that aren't actually serious people. They're not serious. They're in it for clicks and likes, or they're in it for just trouble or whatever like that. They've no actual plan. They've no actual plan. Geez, I have 15 years planned out in my head of what needs to happen and how we need to do it. I never stop thinking.
I'm glad you were with us.
And but like I said, you know the amount of stick that the party's got over the last one. And look, a lot of it's my fault. And I've no problem putting my hands up. I did actually ask somebody prominent in the party, should I apologize? And they said, no, it's okay. But that
wasn't your fault, Martin.
No.
Orla, that was something else.
Orla, you don't know everything.
Yeah. All right,
okay. But the reality is, it's just shown me there are some people in the nationalist movement in the different parties that they got that definitely have a plan and they have that, you know what I mean. You can see they have a bit about them, but then there's a lot of people kind of hovering around that are just they're not going to do this country any benefit or any good in the long run because they have no plan. All they have is words and just slogans and whatnot and stuff like that. But I'm hoping a few more people will come around now to realize that we have a fucking 15-year war on our hands. And anybody who says otherwise, you're just talking to your backside.
I have a guy at the putting up there, Paul O'Neill. Gavin eating like a king in the same place as politicians eat. That's not a man of the people. That's someone desperate for that circle. The only reason Gavin was there was to catch them people. Cop on to yourself, Paul, now, will you? Gavin doesn't eat in them places. Gavin's a friend of mine. I know. The only reason he was there was to catch them people on budget day. So give it over, will you, please?
Yeah, we have great respect for Gavin here.
Yeah. I have as well. Speaking of Gavin, I'm going to go with his thing from the other day. You cannot veto where people live. Remember the government told us that?
Yes,
Have a listen to this.
How you folks, Councillor Gavin Pepper, and we're here at the canal. And as what you can see, last night there was loads of tents here, but the Gardaí moved them on. So, it's true, Dublin 4 can veto who lives in their area. €40,000 a week spent on fencing to keep them out. Security firms hired to keep them out. And now Gardaí moving them on to keep them out. Yet they want to push them into the working class communities. They sent in, bussed in people to protest. Refugees are welcome here. They're not welcome in Dublin 4. You don't see them out here. This is the scam that continues to go on and on, where people are still arriving today at the IPAS centre. This has to end. You need to send them home. We don't want them in the working class areas, and it's quite clear the people in the upper class areas don't want them either. But at the end of the day, this is where the money is. You can afford to keep them out. Working class community can't afford that. I'm at the doors yesterday canvassing, and the feedback is amazing. It's heartwarming. People are very upset over the 9 million being wasted again of taxpayers' money for phone pouches, when a teacher could just confiscate a phone and give it to the kid at the end of the day. This country's destroyed. The Sinn Féin party, Mary Lou, you either resign or have a public inquiry. The list of people that are involved with your party in sex crimes is shocking. It's unbelievable. You should be, if Eamon Dunphy wants with a book called The Team That Jack Built, it's the Sinn Féin party is the team that Scap built, Scapatigi, and what he was involved in. The list is endless. 2 of them on the run in Spain. Then you have the Social Democrats. I call Gary Gannon out to talk about Mr. Handy. And then he does the Teddy Pound School of Acting, Micheál Martin Mills. Oh no, can't talk about that. Christine Buckley, a survivor. She talked about David Norris and his pedophilia words that he used. Yeah, Holly Kieran said she joined politics to be for David Norris. So why is this all covered up and never talked about in the Irish government? They're afraid to speak about it. RTE say nothing. Virgin Media say nothing. The people of Ireland have had enough. We want public inquiries into this because it's quick enough to turn on the church and say, oh, they move police everywhere. We're using moving political party members everywhere and saying no. The Irish people have had enough. Now send these illegal immigrants home. You clearly don't want them in Dublin 4 and we don't want them in areas either.
Brilliant.
Fair play to him. He's brilliant.
He's brilliant. I have to say, he really is good.
Oh, I talk about calling things out. He's great. Oh, I'll tell you, I hope if any man deserves a seat in the Dáil, he does.
Yeah, he does. He calls them out big time, all the time.
Brilliant.
And it's true what he's saying about the scandals. You know, the scandals are through the roof.
Has been horrendous. And did you see the photographs of that guy that was accused of paedophilia? And he was up the north. He was in a photograph with in the background with is it Michelle Smith? Michelle,
yeah. The first minister, yeah.
They were at a meeting, like. I mean, what was he doing up there?
The other Mary Lou.
Yeah, the other Mary Lou, yeah. The blondie Mary Lou, yeah. And Mary Lou's brother's a sister now. You know, people don't talk about that. You know what I mean? And then we have
I finally got blocked by the Sinn Féin Twitter account.
Oh, sure, I'm blocked as well. I'm blocked by her as well. You know what I mean? Because we're not allowed to talk about that. You know what I mean? Nobody. And I said it to me ma. My ma said, "No way. Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." Oh, I didn't know that. I said, "You and about 3 other million people in the country don't know that." You know what I mean? But he's the brother's or sister now, and then you have the Justice Minister's husband runs ABV, the puberty blocker company. So why wouldn't they be putting out trying to get hate speech laws and everything in against us for talking out about it? It's ridiculous, like, you know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Gavin, fair play to him. You can't veto. Well, we can veto now, and I have to say the injunction case is on the 24th of this month, and please God, it'll go well for us, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we were to win this, now I'm not saying we're going to win it, don't get me wrong, it's up for hearing on that day, and the judge has set aside the whole day for it, so he's going to listen to our arguments, and we have very valid arguments, you know what I mean? So, please God, you know, fingers crossed. Yeah. But well,
look, you're trying, and that's the big thing. You're giving it a go.
Yeah, we're trying, all right. My woman's making faces at me here. I'm gonna just go with the Irish Git talking about this one, Olivia Heeden.
I was just gonna ask, have we got a video from Michael?
So I always have. You have to go on with Michael. I'm gonna go with this one, right? This is Olivia Heeden. You know what I mean? So I go with this one and I'll come back.
Hey, you'll never guess who's back. Yes, that's right. It's Olivia Heeden, the volunteer. That's not actually a volunteer. Strategic Communications Advisor, ION, UN Migration, Trinity College, Dublin. If you'd like a reminder or you're hearing about her for the first time, well then you can watch my video on all my platforms called Heeden's Law. Anyway, she's still the main person on the ground when it comes to migrants in tents. Let's roll this new clip.
Sorry, why are you filming? Sorry, these are international protection applicants and they have a right to anonymity under Irish law, and the guards are right here seeing you committing a criminal offence. I don't know why you guys aren't doing anything. Yeah, but he's committing a criminal offence. He's taking videos of protection applicants and he's probably going to post them online. It doesn't matter. It's the International Protection Act. With the right to anonymity under it should not be identified as no protection applicant.
As I'm aware, it's in the public.
I can show you that.
Right to privacy.
They do.
Same as ourselves.
No, because we're not vulnerable people, and there's not an additional law that's protecting our anonymity. So if a journalist is reading the same.
If you don't want to be recorded in a public place in this country, go somewhere else. It's that simple. Now let's continue with the clip.
What's your name?
Yeah, but he's asked for consent.
Why are you coming on to me, man? I'm not gay. I'm not gay, but you stop touching my leg.
We're being posted online. Being posted on any social media.
Look, I'm not a faggot. Would you get away from me, man? I'm not a faggot.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
Just being queer.
Alright, thank you. Thanks very much, guys.
Olivia would have us believe that she's pro-LGBT. But if I was saying what her security was saying, I'd be arrested and charged. I wonder what her employees and the rest of the woke mob think of this. Now, I have a question for Olivia before I go. This man who's clearly working security for a volunteer, is it a stranger you hired? Or are they a friend or a family member?
Yeah, somebody posted that it was a father. Now I don't know whether he looks old enough to be our father. Now I don't know how old Olivia is, but yeah, I don't know. You know,
he's very good, Mick. His videos are very good.
Yeah. Martin are you going to jump off, Martin? Do you need to head off? You're up early in the morning, aren't you?
Yeah, 10:30 is my cut off, so I'll say good night to you all.
Yeah. So we've only a few minutes left. I've only a couple of videos left and a couple of comments, and then we'll shut it down ourselves. Thank you, Martin, for coming on. Fair play to you, mate. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Take it easy.
Yeah. So we may as well make ourselves bigger now. All that. Look, woohoo! We're huge now. But yeah.
Don't be scaring people off, Paul. You're fine. You're in a nice shirt, so you're grand.
See, I had my short and tie on today, and what happened was, as I said earlier, when I got to the protest, I was told, listen, Paul, it's not political, it's grassroots, you need to take off the jacket. So I just took off the jacket. Listen, I've no problem with that, you know. And even when I got up to speak, I didn't even say who I was. They just said, this is Paul Fitzsimons, and I never said I was Freedom Party or anything like that, you know what I mean? So that's the Olivia Heeden one gone. So so listen, I done a little speech there today, so I'm going to go with my little speech there today, right? And we'll come back and talk about it.
All the head cases, look at them. If we keep letting the SPHE curriculum into our schools, that's what our kids will end up like in 10 years' time. It needs to stop. The two-tier policing system in this country needs to stop as well. I'm a victim of it myself. I was arrested here at a protest on the 5th of February. And they found a penknife in my bag for cutting down posters, and I'm up on weapons charges. These head cases over here, let me believe that I'm one of them nut jobs that goes around stabbing people. I do not do that. We do not do that. We are peaceful people, peaceful protesters. There was 12 of them moved out here this morning for acting the maggot. If that had been 12 of us, we'd be sitting in Store Street Police Station, and their names will be plastered all over the paper tomorrow. This has to stop. Them people over there are fascists. We are not fascists. And by the way, there is a big election coming up, and we need every one of you to talk to your friends, your family, and anyone you know, and you get them out to vote. And I'm just going to post it, show you this here. This is what you do, people. You dump good politicians, and you elect patriots, because we will save this country. Aaron Dublin. I'll leave it for now.
Get in there.
Good man.
It went well. I have to say, it went very well. Like I know.
Yeah, no, it went well. It went well. I just missing the black T-shirt with the writing on it.
I didn't wear that today. I thought, no, I can't be. You know.
Yeah.
That's only
but
for special occasions.
Did Anthony not show up with a shirt on him? All presentable as well.
And all presentable. He had his IFP badge on, and I said it to him when he got there, and he said, "Well, I take off the badge." I said, "Well, it's a badge." I said, "It doesn't say Irish Freedom Party." I said, "It's you know, it's come on the Saoirse, you know, so, you know, Irish people who spoke Irish would know that, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
people who don't, you know what I mean, they wouldn't, you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, it went very well now, I have to say. It was a good protest.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, it is terrible, as you said yourself, you know, trying to even hear you and all the noise in the background. Like, it's just.
Oh, well, I made sure I shouted. I made sure they weren't gonna drown me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just.
But the scum, that just dirt. I swear to God, like the people, and as Martin said, they wear the masks because they're at every protest. You know, your man was across the road. Your man was across the road. He's a councillor. He's is it people before puberty? No, he's a social democrats councillor. He looks like Phil Lynott. You know him, the black fella with the. He's a gobshite, but he was there now. But do you know the funny thing about this that annoyed me was, we were there doing speeches. They were not doing speeches. They were just making noise and shouting at us. You know, the sort of way. The guards should have intervened there and stopped them. The guards should have moved them down to the end of the road, away from where we were. Because if we had 2,000 or 3,000 people there, they would not have been there. The guards would have moved them away for their own safety. You know what I mean? Because 2,000 or 3,000 of us wouldn't have taken that shite off them. You know what I mean? It was just, we were outnumbered there today. And the PA system, what happened was, what I was told was, I said it to Clive, I said, what's the story with the PA? He said, your man that owned the big PA system legged it, he said, when he seen all them shouting and roaring, and he got afraid in case any of his equipment got broke or that. And so that's what happened there. You know what I mean? I actually have another one from the Git there I'm going to play. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. They slagged him on, he done a thing on News Talk on, what day was it? I think he done it on Tuesday, I think, was it? Or one of the days. Do you remember that the girl who got her eye nearly poking out there last year? I think the young fella got a few years for it, but she's a young girl from Tallaght, and they had her on News Talk, okay? And people are slagging about radio interviews and this, that, and the other, and how bad interviews are, and how this, that, and the other are. Bullshit, really. But this was the News Talk interview. I'm going to play this. This is 2 minutes long. This was the actual interview from the girl that the Git talks about.
How do mainstream media work in Ireland? Let's take News Talk, for example.
In the way that Ireland is at the moment, it's something that is definitely needed. And we're definitely not doing anyone any favours by not putting them in, I feel.
And what are the type of things that you think are happening, or maybe you've experienced, that you would like to see hate speech laws there to protect against?
Well, a major thing that's come a lot more recently is the violence against women. I don't know if you've seen that thing about that poor girl there found in the apartment the other day. But like just things like that, just more and more you're hearing about something every day, do you know what I mean? And like obviously, racial abuse, that's another thing, and obviously like LGBT, hate, homophobia and stuff like that as well. Just there's so much going on that it's like, how can they not be making a change for the better?
Now this woman was the victim of a horrific attack where she lost the vision in one eye. And what happened is terrible, it really is. And the people have been convicted for it. But that doesn't justify putting low IQ people on the radio, just to push a false narrative and talk SH1T and go unchallenged while doing it.
A major thing that's come a lot more recently is the violence against women. I don't know if you've seen that thing about that poor girl there found in the apartment the other day. But like just things like that.
Scumbags that should be locked up and the key thrown away. But there's already laws against what they done. There's already laws against everything she mentioned, including what happened to her. Our justice system needs to be tougher on criminals, absolutely. But that's nothing got to do with hate speech laws. But there's News Talk using a victim who's reading off a piece of paper to push the narrative that they want. Make no mistake about it, they don't care about these victims. They just use them to pull on the heartstrings of the public.
News Talk is one of the News Talk is one of the biggest government propaganda machines as well. They're just like RTE, shocking.
Yeah. Well, if you look at who owns all of these companies are owned by one or two people. Like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pulling down another one there as well. I had another one there of no, that was the Eating Pets one. Let me just see. I had another one there of a migrant actually sleeping on someone's grave, a woman
I saw that.
You see that now? That's disgraceful. That is disgraceful now. You know what I mean? But we'll get back to this one here, what we're talking about, Michael. I'll pull that one down in a minute. But the low IQ, they're talking about low IQ, that girl was sitting there reading. And you could see from it, she was sitting reading from the script. She scratched her eye and she was looking down. And first it was LGBT, then it was migrants, then it was this homophobia. And, you know, come on, like, you know, and your man that done the interview is a scumbag. He was in Coolock. I remember him coming to Coolock. That's the reason why we painted the wall in Coolock, right? He done a live stream from there on the Monday, I think it was. And he kept zooming in because the lads had put Muslim rapists, scumbag Muslims. You know, listen, okay, I get the lads all weren't happy with Muslims and this, that, and the other. But when normal people start seeing that wrote on things, they think, come on, lads, you know, is this really what it's all about? So we went up on the Wednesday and we painted that wall green, white, and orange. And that's why we did that, was to take all of that shit off. Because RTE would have had a field day with that then coming up and, you know, so, yeah. But then there was a second one here because your man came out and said about Michael Brazel being a scumbag, and I'm going to play that one now.
Far-right instigator begging online while selling hate. All those bigots with the buy me a coffee on their profile made a gag on that coffee, Omadons. Better than gagging on what this fella's gagging on. Anyway, let's play this clip.
In 2021, Alana Quinn Idris was attacked by 4 young men and lost the vision in one of her eyes. I want you to watch this clip from an online racist.
But that doesn't justify putting low IQ people on the radio just to push a false narrative and talk SH1T and go unchallenged while doing it.
Why would this man attack a young woman like this? He's referring to an interview she did yesterday on News Talk. She's not media trained. He's trying to discredit what she's saying in relation to her arguments for hate speech laws by referring to her as having low intelligence. The reason he's doing this is because this individual makes most of his income from online racism. The rest of the video ends with him saying his content is free, but if you'd like to support him, you can contribute here. You go to his main social media account, the first thing that comes up is buy me a coffee. Hate speech laws will put a massive dent in the pockets of online racists, and that's why they'll attack young women like Alana Quinn Idris to make their points.
Let's fact check this for a minute. Why didn't this anonymous NPC play the full video? Oh yeah, that's right. Because I didn't attack the woman. I attacked the message that she gave. I called her low IQ, but that's my opinion and I'm entitled to that.
I think a major thing that's come a lot more recently is the violence against women. I don't know if you've seen that thing about that poor girl there found in the apartment the other day. But like just things like that.
Scumbags that should be locked up and the key thrown away. But there's already laws against what they done. There's already laws against everything she mentioned, including what happened to her. Our justice system needs to be tougher on criminals, absolutely. But that's nothing got to do with hate speech laws. The full video Low IQ Talk is available on all my social media platforms. Go and watch it and you'll also see this person took a clip from my video and used it to push their narrative and to mislead people and lie to them. The person sounds very like Joe Loughnane, an ex-People Before Profit radical who admitted to running drugs around Galway City. Why did he get kicked out of the party again? Oh yeah, that's right. If it is him, he shouldn't be talking about anyone attacking women, should he?
Yeah, exactly. But they're talking about Michael getting a buy me a coffee. You know what I mean? And if the hate speech law comes in, he will lose all of that. Okay, but on the same note, if the hate speech bill comes in, Justice Minister McEntee's husband and her will make millions through puberty blockers. So who has more to gain? Michael for buying him a coffee, or the Justice Minister for making millions through AbbVie? You know, it beggars belief, like, you know what I mean? It really does beggar belief, I tell you. But he puts out some great stuff, and that's why I play it every weekend. Like to put together that stuff, you know what I mean, takes you a good while to do it, and I wouldn't do it as good as he does. That's why I use his videos, and he has no problem with me using his videos. You know what I mean?
And he normally backs things. He backs things up as well. Like, you know, he normally has news articles and he's this, that, and the other to reference back, and he's very good like that. You know, his videos are very good. Do you know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I think it's the way he does it with the bit of the wit to it.
Yeah, he's very funny. You know what I mean? He's funny and he's serious all in the one go. You know what I mean? He makes them out to be fucking idiots. Excuse me, French. He makes them out to be gobshites, really. You know what I mean? But your man from News Talk is, as I said, an awful gobshite. Like, he really is. One more from me.
They're just a government propaganda machine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to just show this quick video from the migrant on the... Now, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, I don't know whether it was Michael that posted it, but he put up on a thing that... it was Michael O'Keefe, actually, that put it up. Migrants going around the graveyard talking about how they're getting jobs in the graveyards and the whole lot. Now, I think this is Michael TikTok again. Videos. Yeah. So I'm going to put this one up. It's only about 18 seconds. That's disgraceful, isn't it? Now, I'm going to be honest. If that was any of my family's graves, I'd find him and I'd fucking bury him in the grave. I'm being honest with you. Scumbags to do shit like that now. They really are.
But there would be absolute uproar if it was the other way around and one of us did something like that.
If that was a Muslim grave.
You respect the dead. You don't do that. No matter what religion or whatever you agree with or don't agree with or whatever. You don't do that. You respect the dead. That's shocking. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not that neglecting all the comments there coming in. We are watching videos there and doing whatever. Sorry. I'll go down through these now. Rigged, forget it, blah, 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 blah. He gets better, our Gavin. Yeah, this is...
he does. He's brilliant.
Yeah. Gavin,
what did he say? What did he say? Peppers, parrots.
Peppers, parrots, yeah. And Gavin is a firebrand. He is a firebrand because they're all afraid of the life of him.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Connor, think you can change the Masonic Mason doll, dream on. Well, listen, if none of us get in, nothing's going to happen. But if a few of us get in, we can start trying to change legislation, put bills forward. We'll start to make, we can try and make a change. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
But if none of us get in, it's going to get a hell of a lot worse because there'll be no opposition whatsoever.
We need a national walkout of work day by the native Irish people for the blue flu or similar because Ireland is full. Okay, I agree with you on that, but that's never going to happen because the unions are all captured by the NGOs. Like, if you look at any of these big protests that go on in town, they usually give them an hour off. Lads, take an hour off and go to the protest. And the lads who take the hour off, go to the protest. That's what happens, It's crazy, Yeah, fake guard at work for Serco Forecast. Yeah. Okay, deadlift. Oh, how they mind. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Right. Let me see. Paul O'Neill. False allegations saying someone has something to prove. Deadlift 100%. Not Luke. Are you going to blame? Comment on. Nobody's saying anything about Luke tonight. Okay, we're over Luke. Luke is not an issue or not a problem to me or the party. So if you haven't got over Luke,
nobody said anything about him.
No.
And I actually said that person messaging in, I believe, is from Carlo.
Yeah, he's not from Carlo, he says. I'm Luke. Huge arsehole is Luke. I don't believe that for a minute either. You can be Luke all you want. I'm not your father, Luke. But I'm not even going to give them any more, to be honest with you. They're full of shit. But we're way up there. We're at the hitting 2,000 there again tonight. That's all right now.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? Brilliant.
That's good.
But I'm actually pulling down another one here. This will be the last one, I think, of the night. Bear with me there and I'll just see have I got it. Where are we? Boom. That was the migrant fella. Okay. And we have, this is another, I'm going to go with another one from the Git, and then I'm going to go with this migrant one, right? But the Git went with one, eating pets. Okay. They're talking about, in Ohio, they were talking about Haitians eating pets and the whole lot, right? Do you remember that? And Trump said it on the stage and they tried to make an idiot out of them. They are eating pets. They're catching ducks and everything, and they're catching seagulls and they're eating seagulls. Okay. But they get done a video here only yesterday, I think it was, about eating pets. So we'll go with that one and we come back.
Forbes. Blaming immigrants for eating pets is an old American urban legend. Fact check. No evidence of Haitian immigrants stealing and eating pets in Ohio. Let's forget about America and talk about Europe.
That's not a seagull in the hand, is it? What's that? It's not a seagull. Are you going to eat that now? Yeah. Don't eat the bastard. Not going to eat it now, are you? Dirty meat. Let that go. Release. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Come on, you can't be doing shit like that now. Let it go. Come on. It's disgusting that is. Look at them. There you go.
Yes, not a pet, but certainly animal cruelty. And what were they going to do with that pigeon? And obviously the NGO left are doing their best to try and counter it. There's a troubling double standard in Dublin. Pigeon racing clubs openly capture and train birds for sport without question, but when a migrant gently holds a pigeon, she's filmed and falsely accused of harming it. It's clear there's a biased narrative being pushed. Yeah, so tell me about this one with the dead pigeon. Gently bringing it for a walk, are they? Did someone say France? Unfortunately, it's hard to tell if that was a cat or a dog. But this next clip isn't hard. Let's go to Italy.
Dove vai tu? Dove vai tu? Ora ti mando io in galera. Te ne vai in galera, te ne vai. Vergogna. Guarda che stai a fare. Vergognati. Cosa?
Yes, that's someone's cat being cooked in broad daylight by a new to the parish. Most of these people that we know nothing about that are flooding Europe at the minute are from cultures that aren't compatible with ours. Anyway, they're only animals and pets. It could be a lot worse. They could be from cultures that eat humans. Nigeria, 2014. Cannibal restaurant with roasted human heads on the menu shut down by police. Oh well. Mind you, if you ask an open borders fanatic the benefits of multiculturalism, one of the things they'll say to you is all the cuisine we have on offer these days. Looks like they're right.
That is sick, isn't it? That is just sick. Jesus Christ, like, you could see that was a cat, you know what I mean? And I saw a video from America last week where they were roasting a dog and pulling the legs off the dog. It's just disgraceful, like, you know what I mean?
And there's been more from Italy. There was another incident as well with a cat as well. And it wasn't that one, because that's what I thought you were going to show me. It was another one.
Yeah.
The same thing. Oh,
It's
Jesus.
sick. It's just disgusting. And especially you working in animal rescue and all that stuff, you know what I mean? It must be heart-wrenching for you, like, you know what I mean? But the way they tried to say that pigeon fanciers catch them and retrain them, a pigeon man would not put his hands near one of them Gicknab pigeons. No, because they're like rats. That's what they'll tell you they are. They're rats. You know what I mean? They're vermin.
Well, fair play to that person for stopping and saying it, like, do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people would have just walked by.
Well, that was your man Paul. You know, the one that they're at the arresting 3 or 4 times. Paul Nolan and the other guy. What's his name? I was only talking to him today on his live stream. I don't know. I forget his name, but that's who that was. They walk up and down that boardwalk every other day. You know what I mean? They're in town every other day and they're videoing this stuff. They're videoing drug deals. They done another video last week, I think, of a fella in his 30s tried to talk to 2 schoolgirls. Take the day off and come with me. And the girl says, no, I have to go to class. I have to do this. And he ended up running your man from there, like, you know what I mean? But this is going on all over the city and people aren't seeing it. And the likes of these lads are highlighting it. And you have these lefties coming on then, Garda info. You know, making them out to be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're harassing migrants. They're harassing people. They're not harassing people. They're over there trying to tell the story of what's going on. And I think they're doing great work, to be honest with you. I really do. You know, I know that they're not citizen journalists as such, but they sort of are. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? They're walking around with the cameras and they're showing everyone what's going on. That's where we're getting their information from. You know what I mean? Because the mainstream media won't show you this shit. You know what I mean? I have a video there I'm going to just show. Is this the IPAS one? I haven't seen this one yet. I only downloaded this, but it's to show you how much money is being spent on the IPAS, okay?
Okay.
Look at how many pages is on that. These are all IPAS, getting paid for IPAS. pages already. "42 pages there. Did you see that?"
You know what it reminded me of? You know, like a phone dictionary.
Yeah, but that's 42,
yeah,
42 pages of
yeah,
iPads that people getting paid money for iPads.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. And there must be 30 on each of them. So what's that? 3 4s of 12, 1,200 places.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, and
is
when
just
we were doing
ridiculous.
videos on that yesterday just for the elections, and like one of my part was actually saying 2.1 billion a year was spent. 2.1 billion a year on IPAS centres.
Yeah.
Shocking.
What's this?
You know?
Like you were trying to get into government that can't even take a bit of criticism. I can take all the criticism you want, love, to be honest with you. Walk away, criticise me all you want. I don't really care. You know, but don't come up here spewing shite and lies, like, you know what I mean? That people are this and people are that. I'm not going to post that. I'm sorry. On false allegations, so 100%.
Yeah. Actually, Paul, I forgot we've a special guest tonight.
Have we?
Yeah.
Who have we got? Oh, we got, jeez, is it a new one today?
This
Deadly.
is
What's
this
his name?
Binks, you know, out of Hocus Pocus. Remember there was Binks in Hocus Pocus?
Yeah.
So Binks is my foster kitten. Binks only has one eye. He lost an eye. But he's grand, it's not bothering him. But listen, I was talking to Binks, wasn't I, Binks? He's a very important question to ask. What did you want to ask, Paul? He wants to know, Paul, where you're running.
Dublin Bay North. Binks should know already.
Vote for Paul in Dublin Bay North. Woo!
I used to have a dog. I used to have a Pomeranian dog, right, with one eye called Aisha. She was beautiful. I used to love her,
Yeah.
She was deadly.
So there you go now. There's your shout out now, like, do you know what I mean?
Happy days. Now, everyone is Luke tonight. I'm Luke. We're all Luke. It's like something out of the life of Brian here. I'm Brian, and so is my brother. Yeah, walk away, lads. I couldn't give a shit.
That name there. You asshole.
Huge asshole.
Yeah.
We're all Luke. Listen, I couldn't. Luke O'Connor. What's this? Luke O'Connor. Soft on loyalty, selling out nationalism. #1 vote for that. Fair play. Give it to him, if you want. Listen, I can't help who people vote for. I'm not going to tell people who to vote for, except me. Vote for me, #1, Irish Freedom Party, Dublin Bay North.
That's what Bing said. Vote for Paul, #1, Dublin Bay North.
Yeah. I have one last video I'm going to go with here, and this is from a Ukrainian guy. Okay, you see his Jeep outside first, and he's showing you around his lovely.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, the home, yeah.
The modular home. Now wait and you see this. This is,
Модульные домики. Очень много детей. Здесь что входило еще в домик? Это дворик. В двор вход не через домик, а вот отдельно калиточка. Она закрывается на ночь при желании. Ну, взяли уличную мебель бесплатно здесь на Адверсе. Сайт такой есть, там где можно выбрать что-то себе бесплатно. Ну, такое барбекю, газон. Это то, что мы барбекю это мы взяли. Теперь гостиная. То есть это все в одном. В гостиной можем на ночевку 2 человек принять. И диванчик маленький. То есть и вот такой столик. Это все было. Чтобы можно было, это камин пили, поставили, чтобы сушить. Или санузел. Да, здесь стоит таймер, который автоматически подогревает 2 раза складывать. Санузел, ну, в принципе, ящик тоже наш, для душевая кабина. В принципе, теплая водичка регулируется. Так, детская комната. В детской комнате я сделал, учимся как умеем. Здесь были кровати раздвинуты, мы их сдвинули. Тумбочка моя, тумбочка жены. Ну и пуфик мы за 5 евро купили себе. То, в принципе, остальное все было. Подушки. Шторки жена тоже повесила сама. Были такие простые. Она вот решила так украсить. Так что...
Beautiful, isn't it? It's not worth 440 grand, but no way, is it?
No.
Like, let's be honest. If you had that out your back garden, that's a home for someone. You know what I mean? A 2 or 3 bedroom home. That is. You know.
Yeah. And it makes such a difference to so many people. Like, do you know what I mean? It really would. Like, do you know?
Compliments of the Irish taxpayer. The country is fucked. Makes me mad, and it's true.
Yeah, it makes us all mad.
Deadlift kid, dead kid, stay off this. We get you. Yeah. Okay, stay off there if you want. But I don't think I've any more to run with there now, to be honest with you. I've done everything. Hang on. I have this fella here. But that was thanks to Michael O'Keefe. So fair play, Michael. Michael's putting up some great stuff.
Very good. Yeah, he's a great amount of information as well. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he is. But I'm just going to change my background here now, and I'll get stuck.
Oh, yeah, the truth is like a lion.
Oh, you have it. But you need to watch that cat. I'm being honest with you. Yeah. Look at that fella.
We have a descendant of like, what do we say, being a Black Panther.
There's a guy who was there today. What's his name? His cat's name is Oliver, right? And his cat identifies as a tiger. That's what he tells you when he's talking to him. The cat lies around his neck. He has the cat on a lead. He's brilliant. But he was the guy.
Before has he done videos before?
Yeah. I done a video with him only a few weeks ago. Yeah. But he actually gave me a lift home from the last protest. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
What's his name again? I think he's from up around Ashtown there, up around Finglas. He's from Finglas.
I think I've actually seen him. Yeah, because I remember there's a cat around his shoulders. Yeah.
And the lads would go over to him. Your cat's lovely. Shh, he's not a cat. He identifies as a tiger. You know, he's really good. But
there is a bit of what you call it, DNA there, descendants, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Listen, I'll drop you down, and thank you very much for coming on. And it's been a pleasure as always. See you later, Binks. Take it easy. Talk to you in a minute. But so that's it now for tonight. Now, folks. It's been a good show. We got through a lot of stuff there. Let's see what the last 3 comments are. Deadbeat can't me up. Leo the Lion, me August. Yeah. Open forum. Don't have to go anywhere. No discussion on Patrice Johnson. Pulling back from IFP. Listen, who cares? Okay, nobody cares. All right. If you want to ask Patrice, give her a ring. She's on Twitter. Send her a message. Send her a mail. Do what you want. Her email address is up there. I'm not here to tell you anything about what's going on with anyone in the party. What happens in the party stays in the party, okay? Unless people want to go and broadcast it all over social media. But that's on them. That's not on me. I'm not going to stand here and talk about people that's gone out of the party, okay? The same as if I leave here tomorrow, I'm not going to badmouth the party. You know what I mean? Pat Casey, great show. Fair play to you, Pat. Thanks for listening. Nice having a point with you today. It all went well. Thanks, Paul. God bless. Cheers, Elizabeth. Deadlift kid. We care. People care. You don't care. You're just a plant here. You're just here to cause trouble, mate. And don't be coming in here trying to cause trouble with me because you won't get away with it, okay? It's important to vote. It is important to vote, people. And everybody make sure you get out there and vote and get everyone you know to get out there and vote and to get registered. Madeline and Suzanne are doing a great job getting everyone. So please do that, people. No clarity in that explanation. How about that one? Is that clear enough? Okay. Ireland is full. Okay, fair play. What I say every Sunday night, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless everyone. Talk to you next Sunday night.